Kelvin Fu is the CEO and founder of AeroHub, and he's joining us for the WiT Studio session today. Kelvin, welcome. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you.
So I want to start by asking you, in the next 5 to 10 years, where do you think airline distribution is going? Like, will it be centralized again, or more fragmented, or something completely new?
All right. I think in the next 5-10 years, the airline distribution sector will not naturally be centralized again. Yeah, as long as the airline want to take more control, and also the agent want to take more, provide more diversity product to the customers. So the fragmentation will continues, I believe. And at the same time, I think the NDC standards happens as well. And like us, AeroHub, the aggregators working on some kind of the centralization at the same time. Yeah, so we are working on some form of the centralization that way. So I think the fragmentation and the centralization is both coexist, for a while until some turning point eventually comes. So at that time, maybe several game changer may emerge in the industry.
Right. So that's where you see it going in the next 5 to 10 years.
I think it definitely will happen in the next 5-10 years, is for sure.
For sure. Okay. What do you believe will differentiate the winners in global travel distribution? So will it be technology, capital, partnerships, or just the sheer speed of execution?
Okay. Yeah. So I think all these matters. That four. Yeah, it matters. But if I want to put the order, I think the first will be capitalize, and second it will be a partnership, and then execution and technical. We are technical form, so we proven we are given that gift, right? So if I want to put what different to the others, right? So I think that is something that we perform like a technical aggregator and look at the coming 5 to 10 years, what exactly will solve the complexity of the flight distribution world, and to define what the right problem, and to keep on to real life to fix it. I think this is something to make us different to the others in the long-term run. Yeah. Yeah, at the time going by, and you can see your competitors, getting less and less, maybe because we are stick on that.
Right. So that's your edge. That's what makes you different from the others in the field.
Yeah. We are keen to solve the fundamental problem of the industry, so especially for the flight distribution sector.
Right. So, going to GDS. So GDS, of course, it offered like a single pipe for the agents, right? But today's supply chain is very messy and very decentralized, I would say. A lot of people, industry experts would say. As content fragmentation accelerates and evolves with NDC and airline direct distribution and all these new intermediaries come into the market, do you see this as more of a problem or more of an opportunity for the industry?
Well, I think I see the both, right? So I think first one, the fragmentation is a fact. It happens, actually every sector in the travel industry. So it naturally happens, and it's become, it's also bring some, in positive way, it becomes some diversity and competition as well, right? But I think the history always, repeat itself when the world is moving from centralized to decentralized, right? There should be some, force of the, ability that to make it back and re-centralize again, right? So I think for the long-term run, the fragmentation will continue, and some of the centralization also come about. So I think both of these will be opportunity, but yes, for now it's challenge, but I see long-term run, this is something we can tap into and fix it.
Okay. So you don't see fragmentation as like a big problem. It's got challenges and its opportunities.
Yes. Yeah. I think the fragmentation itself is not the problem. I think the pinpoint is just how we fix the complexity behind that. So it's just about a question of the how we handle that. It's not what and why. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think the industry really or truly recognizes that this capability is the solution? The solutions that you mentioned, right? And if they do, what barriers might still stop them from putting this into practice? The opportunities that you spoke about.
Yeah. So I think, honestly, I don't think the whole industry is fully and recognized this yet, because for example, most players still treat the airline direct connection as a simple and technical problem. Of course, they are handling that. The big guys, they are doing some kind of the standardization and consolidation, but it's something. It's not enough, and I think it's not strategic. Even some insightful people, already see the challenge and problem, coming for 5 years, but still implement that is still challenge. Well, several things. First one is, the short-term pressure that, for a firm, right, the sales and cost will always come first. And secondly, so some guys are already dependent on some legacy system like GDS and totally built on that, right? So what something make them strong before, and at the same time it's like a barrier to limit them to adapt the changes. So in the world, the industry both underestimate this, and even they recognize that. So the implementation is still a challenge.
Implementation is still a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have that scenario, right, we know, okay, how the workings, and we have this picture, this scenario of how this works. In this scenario, in this situation, what do you see as possible ways to build this capability, or build the capability of the industry?
Well, okay, I just share my perspective on that. So I see basically several ways. The first one is just build by all the ability by yourself. You build your own infrastructure ability to take the adapt and challenge, and also to solve the complexity by yourself. But the risk is so they are not very professional on the data content part. Right, so it takes time, firstly, and also it's a risk that the resources are always limited, right, to do that.
Yep.
And when you start, you cannot stop, right? You already chose this path. And second one be maybe fully rely on some third party, but the risk is it's not your ability, right? So over the time it will lose the control of the content, right? So I see mostly should be, I believe, it's kind of the balance of the both. So both, investing your own ability and leverage the partnership with some, right away solutions to help you. Yeah. So this is, I think, will be the positive way to go forward.
Find a balance between the two.
Yeah. I think somehow you should, have two apples to proceed, right?
Right. So we all know that Letsfly has been in the market for over a decade, right? And AeroHub is the group's sort of new strategic brand initiative in distribution, focusing on distribution. So from the ways you just mentioned, which ones does AeroHub focus on, and why do you focus on those the most?
Well, yes. When we build Letsfly, we basically, quite simple. We bring the airline globally to the market they wish to go, and to meet the gap of the different market for the supplyment, right? So at the moment, the Letsfly is already connecting majority of airlines globally direct, right? But when we actually try to establish the AeroHub, we see some abilities not just about the fulfillment. So the partner, they need a involving framework that to help them to start from scratch, a solution step by step to have their own ability, right? So we build a solution that Fair Market Tech Hub Plus to help them from a simple content to using our ability to test the market, and also they have the ability to choose which airline they want to establish the partnership directly, and just through our system without any integration cost. So I think this is this kind of the involving framework we build is essentially help our partner to, build that ability step by step. So this is very important.
That's very important. Okay. In a previous interview that you did with us, you mentioned that your engineering mindset comes through in how AeroHub sort of standardizes complexity for agents. But now, as AI blends into travel, do you see AI as a tool to help manage that complexity, or as a competitor that could affect the middle layers like AeroHub?
Well, firstly, for sure, it's not competitor. Yeah, so I think AI is basically changing all the industry at the moment, right? So we obviously we can see that. So basically in travel, the AI agents, your assistant will change the experience to, the end travelers for sure. And this shift, I think, could happen just in few years, because it's so fast, the AI innovation, right? But still, the fragmentation or the complexity still happen there, right? So this is something very difficult to, as I mentioned, there should be some, challenge there that how we establish a common standard that every players can play together to support that, unified data to support that, right? So I see the AI innovation speed and that simplify of the data speed is a huge gap at the moment, right? So it's kind of just few years and maybe 5 to 10 years, right? So, but that gap, I see the opportunity. So I see the AI will be the accelerator kind of for our industry.
Accelerator, yeah. So you mentioned 5 to 10 years. We spoke about in the next 5 to 10 years in the beginning of this interview. We can close by talking about legacy. So the name of the conference is the next 20, so we're looking forward to the next 20. But I want to ask you, what does success look for you 10 years from now? Let's not look at 20 years, 10 years from now. What would convince you that AeroHub has sort of reshaped the way travel distribution works?
All right. So it's always about our vision and what kind of the animal or things that we want to be. And I think 10 years from now, I will call it, if we can convert that data complexity fragmentation to a unified, diverse, able, easier to trigger the data behind the AI, that will be very proven our effort to simplify the problem. I think this is something make us have the confidence to go forward and make a difference.
Right. Very nice. Kelvin, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All the next 2 hours, what's waiting there?